All right, and so we see more collaborations between Nigeria and the UK, but I guess one of the peak of it would be when the UK approves that recognition of the Naira as a payment form over there in the United Kingdom. I guess that would do some magic to the Naira, hopefully. But now let's come back home here. What's happening today is that labor unions have taken to the streets. We hope to bring you those visuals and even a live streaming reports from some of the areas where the labor unions have taken to, and they're talking about palliative. They call it a peaceful protest, even though the federal government has said it's illegal, because of course we know that the federal government did take the issue to court, talking about strikes and all of that. And now they're saying, well, they do have the right to air their views, which is what they're doing, going to the street to say they are not satisfied with the treatment of the issue of removal of subsidy and palliatives. But we do have some other groups who believe that things should be handled differently, I believe. And one of that is the Director General of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association. He joins us from our Abuja studio, Mr. Dewale Smart Yorinde. Good morning, Mr. Yorinde. Thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So let's even start the reportorial from your view. On your way to the studio in Lagos, did you see the labor union? Did you see the protest? How was it?
Well, so far, so peaceful. Labor is exercising its constitutional right to protest. And we just hope seriously that the security authorities also will live up to their constitutional rights of protecting lives and properties, while organized businesses also will be allowed to exercise its constitutional right to carry out its business activities without fear or harassment.
You have not really been in favor of the strike, I believe. Why is that, and what would you like to see? How would you prefer that it is handled?
You know, the structure of tripartism and the social partners, as it were, the labor has its organs of decision making, and the employers also we have our organ and structure for decision making. We believe strongly and very, very strongly on the principle and the efficacy of social dialogue, no matter the situation. And from experience, what we have seen, social dialogue remains the most potent instrument that we can use to resolve all issues that we probably have, especially now that we are in a very, very difficult situation. From our perspective, not speaking from labor's perspective now, you know, organized businesses are facing quite a lot of challenge. There is a local adage that says the chicken also sweats, you know, but the feathers on the chicken's body probably will not allow you to see that it's sweating, and it's sweating profusely. And that's the situation of organized businesses now. And we feel that a break or a disruption of production process at this time will compound the situation of organized businesses. For us, it's more like double jeopardy. You're already suffering from the issue of multiplicity of taxes that the government is trying to resolve, also suffering from the issue of high energy cost, lack of forex currently going on that we are facing. And all those issues have come together to further compound the challenges of organized businesses. Kudos to the president for his comments, for the comments he made about the palliatives for organized businesses. But we also want immediate implementation of those policies so that the benefit of those policies in the short, medium, and long term can start trickling down, and for businesses to come back to where it's supposed to be.
So Labour and government, they've been talking, I mean, since this announcement of subsidy removal, you know, was made. And they had an agreement. I do know of at least 2 meetings, I mean 2 groups. And the one with the unions, I remember TUC was always there, NLC was always there, Mr. Lake was always there for the government, you know, and they had an agreement that some of those things, or they outlined some of their needs, which were supposed to, by mid-August, you know, they were supposed to, at least some of them were supposed to have been implemented. And Labour is saying we have not seen any sign that you will meet up with this mid-August. We're already in the first week of August. So, I mean, do you think Labour should just sit down and wait and not do anything, especially when you also consider that a lot of individuals in Nigeria are really hungry and desperate at this time, you know, a threat to security, because even you feel you're all right and you're on the road and somebody's hungry, he can do anything. So, I mean, do you think they should just wait? What are they there for?
You know, there are two issues, or the issues raised are multidimensional, and they can't be handled in just one straight trajectory like that. One, the concern about all of us, you know, not only Labour, generality of Nigerians, the purchasing power of all household has been depleted by rising inflation. Standard of living has dropped significantly, which we acknowledge as organized businesses. At our level as organized business also, we've never had it so bad. In fact, for organized businesses, it is worse. And Labour had met government. We are not privy to the conversation that happened in the inner room between government and Labour, and what transpired within the context of that negotiation. The best we'll say is that it's very important for government to demonstrate some level of sincerity. If you have engagement with social partners, it is very important, absolutely important, that you demonstrate good faith in keeping to those promises. If you can't keep those promises, then there is no point making them. To that extent, we support Labour, because yes, if you have an agreement, then responsibility is on you to make sure that you live up to that agreement. The second part of it is whether the issue of strike or demonstration will solve the issue. I will reemphasize our position that we keep talking. You know, we cannot, even when you disagree to agree. Even when two parties go to court, you know, going to court is another form of dialogue. You've just changed the dynamics of that dialogue. But we feel the situation that we are currently as organized businesses, because mind you, organized businesses, we still have to pay salaries. Organized businesses, we still have to pay interest on the loans that most of those businesses have collected to transact their business. So a disruption will not serve our long-term purpose. We believe strongly that continuous engagement that we preach and that we continue to preach can also achieve much more for us. As I said, Labour has this instrument of engagement. They have their processes and they have their choices, and which the choices, one of which they've made today, which we don't have any problem with. But we also have the objective of sustainable enterprises, which is the foundation of so many other things. It's the foundation for household sustenance, is the foundation for welfare for workers, is the foundation for growth of national GDP. So we cannot discount the importance of sustainable enterprise within the context of all this conversation. The crisis at hand, it requires all of us, Labour, employers, government, to really come together and channel a path that will be good for our country and then will be good for generality of Nigerians.
So just very briefly, a sentence or two will be good, Mr. Yerunde. What's the way forward now? The low-hanging fruit, what can we do now to calm nerves?
Well, the president's comments broadcast on Tuesday, on Monday, if I'm correct, came with a lot of promises. So what we think the president or government can do immediately is to start immediate implementation of whatever palliative you are giving. The president's comment addressed mostly mid-term and long-term plans, but Nigerians want an immediate relief. You know, what are those immediate reliefs that government can concede to within the context of palliatives for Nigerians, for workers, for organized businesses, so that can be the trust for further conversation. And secondly, government must demonstrate more commitment, more openness, so that everybody is carried along within the context of this conversation. The need for us to build national consensus round all policies, round all palliatives, is very high at this point in time.
All right, Mr. Smatoyorinde, thank you so much for your time, sharing those views with us. We do hope that, as you said, the president has spoken. Let's see the implementation in the shortest possible time. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. And stay safe there in the midst of the labor protests.
Thank you.